It's a beautiful sunny day and we're set up on the east coast of Central Florida, in the beach town of Cocoa, on the Florida East Coast Railway's main line. This is the halfway point between Miami and Jacksonville on the FEC, and is the junction where Brightline trains split off and head west towards Orlando. The first train heading southbound is Train 701, on its way from Orlando to Miami. When Brightline's trains operate on the FEC mainline, their symbol is BLF, and whatever the train number is stated. For example, here rounding the curve into Cocoa Beach is BLF 703, on its way from Miami Central Station to Orlando International Airport. This was my first time railfanning the FEC since 2019, and a lot has changed on the railroad since then. Brightline back then was only running between Miami and West Palm Beach, with the Orlando extension now complete. BLF 711 makes its way into Cocoa, where it'll soon branch off and head west toward Orlando, alongside the Beachline Expressway.
Rail train 915, this is 511, northbound at West Main, Tidewater and 50 MPH.
We continued north on Florida's Space Coast toward Titusville, and we're now set up between Cocoa and Titusville, as local job 915 makes its way north on its return trip back to Titusville, with one of the FEC's Hurricane Jeeps on the point. At Mims, Florida, north of Titusville, we're now alongside the Indian River, where you can view the Atlantic Ocean way beyond, as well as the Kennedy Space Center in the distance. That is, of course, what this Space Coast is well known for, with many rocket launches throughout the year. Alongside here, though, is the FEC mainline and the closest it gets to the Indian River. Local train 910 is heading north out of Titusville on its return for New Smyrna Beach, with one of the FEC's Pink Ladies on the point, which supports breast cancer awareness.
FEC Equipment Defect Detector. Milepost
149.5. No defects. No defects. End of transmission.
The last train we would see on the FEC here at MIMS is Train 105 on its way from Jacksonville to Miami, with one of 2 remaining Champion Scheme GEVOs on the point.
Equipment defect detector. Milepost 149.5. No defects. No defects. End of transmission.
On our way back, we stopped at the A line at the Sanford Sunrail station to catch a few trains on our way back. We started off with Sunrail train P335 on its way from DeLand to Point Siana.
Obey all warning signals at pedestrian crossings and cross only at designated areas.
Estén siempre pendientes de un segundo tren que pueda llegar. Obedezcan todas las señales de advertencia en los cruces de peatones y crucen solamente en las áreas designadas.
Always beware of a second train coming. Obey all warning signals at pedestrian crossings and cross only at designated areas.
Estén siempre pendientes de un segundo tren que pueda llegar. Obedezcan todas las señales de advertencia en los cruces de peatones y crucen solamente en las áreas designadas.
Next up was northbound Sunrail train P328 on its way from Point Siana to DeLand.
Always beware of a second train coming. Obey all warning signals at pedestrian crossings and cross only at designated areas.
Estén siempre pendientes de un segundo tren que pueda llegar. Obedezcan todas las señales de advertencia en los cruces de peatones y crucen solamente en las áreas designadas.
Always beware of a second train coming. Obey all warning signals at pedestrian crossings and cross only at designated areas.
Estén siempre pendientes de un segundo tren que pueda llegar. Obedezcan todas las señales de advertencia.
riders, train P333 is delayed approximately 4 minutes due to mechanical issues.
The last train we'll see is a 5.5-hour late Amtrak PO97 on its way from New York to Miami.
Señales de advertencia en los cruces de peatones y crucen solamente en las áreas designadas.
Always beware of a second train coming. Obey all warning signals at pedestrian crossings and cross only at designated areas.
Estén siempre pendientes de un segundo tren que pueda llegar. Obedezcan todas las señales de advertencia en los cruces de peatones.